How's it going, Hodls? Today we're going to be talking about an exciting blockchain that, we've all heard about, guaranteed. Everyone's heard and probably has a lot of FOMO. I'm here to kind of help you navigate through all that FOMO. Is Solana a buy? And obviously, I am definitely late to the party. I do have a small, teeny tiny Solana bag looking to DCA and increase that. Am I currently DCAing into Solana? You're going to have to watch this video and find out. If you do like this content, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. Let's go ahead and get into it. Solana is at an incredible price right now. We're going to take a look at the charts and then talk about the fundamentals, kind of switching it up a little bit today. So Solana is currently sitting at $194. It is at the top of the RSI, so at a huge price right now with Solana. But can it go further? Can it go higher? Now, of course, I think yes, it can go higher. And the reason why I think that is because the crypto market itself can go very high. Now, that being said, is Solana a buy right now? I'm going to get this out of the way. Right now, I probably wouldn't be dumping a huge amount of money into Solana. Maybe small dollar cost average to build up a position and wait for a better buy-in opportunity. Because right now, it is really high. We're at the top of our RSI. So if we expand this up here, take a look at our RSI, we're way over in the overbought section. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to drop in price to go down into our RSI. We can always just trade level. A big example of that, if we take a look at the chart here and line this up, when we did get this drop here after Bitcoin capitulated, when we went down to roughly a $19 Solana, our RSI did go down dramatically, but we still held on to a good amount of price after this big run up here. So really that $19 is really nothing compared to where it started, below a dollar, sub a dollar at this point. At that point, the RSI was able to get back down. We lost a little bit in price, but we were able to consolidate and really pick it back up in the rebound. So is it still a buy right now? I would probably wait for a better buy-in. Now, of course, if you're getting FOMO similar to me, I would dollar cost average a very, very small amount right now. Just play a little bit of money in, get ready. Maybe dabble into some DeFi. We're going to be going over some DeFi products that I'm potentially going to be learning at and getting my Solana working for me. But at this point, I'm not looking to build a huge position in Solana. I'm not dumping any big money into it yet. I am waiting for a pullback, but I am dollar cost averaging small amounts. So transparent and open, I am buying a very, very small amount just so I have exposure. I don't know if I'm right that we're going to retrace a little bit. Who knows? At this point, I'd rather have a little bit on the sidelines. And again, I'm only putting in as much that I'm willing to lose immediately. So why did Solana skyrocket 13,000% year to date? Obviously, it's done really well. I'd probably speculate, just before I read this article, I'd probably speculate that a lot of this has to do with the ecosystem, the partnerships, which we'll get into in this video. But the price has reached $214. We did see that in our chart where we wicked up to that 214 over in just yesterday. So we did get up there, but we are down right now compared to that. Now, we were in a red candle today, but now we're getting back up. It looks like the crypto market is rebounding a little bit. We've discussed this, that Bitcoin is bouncing off of its 200-day. We'll see if it holds at this point. I'm not super bullish, but I'm also not super bearish, because if we look at Bitcoin in the middle of the RSI, I think Bitcoin has a lot of strength to make it above the 200-day moving average and holds a lot of support. But in terms of Solana, so this cryptocurrency skyrocketed roughly, they're saying in the article, 13,200% if you did get in at the very start. Now, obviously, I heard about Solana. I missed the boat. I should have gotten into it a lot sooner. But at this point, here we are. We're entering Solana, at least from my perspective. Now, they did have a massive hackathon to kind of hack the process, and the blockchain is far superior to something like Ethereum. Ethereum in terms of transaction speeds and fees. So there's that. But there's a lot that's superior than Ethereum. That doesn't mean Ethereum's going to go away. A lot of people have concern about or more this tribalism between tokens that, Solana's going to win, Cardano's going to win, Polkadot's going to win, Ethereum's going to win. And I really think that we're going to have a multi-blockchain space here. Now, Solana does have a TPS of roughly 65,000, which is a massive TPS number. As long as it can maintain that scaling, we can maintain that blockchain for a lot of other big things. So, for example, they talk about the game structures and gaming blockchains, which we know are being built out right now in the blockchain in different types of projects. But we also know with NFTs are specifically hot right now. And I'm not an NFT trader, so fully open and honest, not an NFT trader. I don't get into NFTs. I am intrigued by NFTs, but I wouldn't be spending a lot of money because I have no idea what I'm doing. That's fully speculation in my opinion. But I do see the value in NFT technology. So it's not that I'm bearish on NFTs. I don't know what's going on, so I'm not investing. That's basically my thing. Invest what you're willing to lose and what you don't know, and invest everything in what you know. That's my saying, at least. So Solana has rallied up, and it's mimicking Ethereum in 2017, and they're talking about why Solana could hit a $500 price. And I would agree, actually, that they're saying that this is conservative, and it could potentially be conservative because we could see anywhere between $500 to $750 Solana to even a $1,000 Solana. I'll be talking about the tokenomics and how that's possible in a moment here. So Solana flew really high, and even after its face-off with the brutal sell-off that we had in the cryptocurrency market, it didn't really dip all that much compared to where everything else dipped. Bitcoin, I think, saw somewhere like a 50% retracement at points, but Solana was able to maintain and hold a good amount of value even amidst that dip, so even through that. Now, we did go below the RSI, but that was after a dramatic pump, so it makes sense for Solana to go on a minor correction after Bitcoin dips down. Now, Solana has picked it back up and maintained a huge market cap and a huge ranking in the other cryptocurrencies, making it a formidable foe in terms of smart contract blockchains, and it's definitely inching out into the DeFi and NFT space, which is going to be huge. So the CEO does say with the two different NFT projects that we're launching, able to mint NFTs into the ecosystem, was able to hold the Solana price up during that big market crash that we did have. Now, we did have a couple of different projects. We had that NFT Degenerate Ape Academy. Now, if you look at that, that's on Solana Art. This is their, I guess, equivalent to OpenSea. Apparently, this thing has just been going crazy, this Degenerate Ape. And this is, again, I have no idea about NFTs. I don't touch this market. Logan Paul sold a rock for a lot of money, I guess. I really don't know. So excuse my ignorance. I'm not crapping on anyone that does invest in this stuff, but I really don't invest in it. Now, I can understand how some NFTs might be valuable if I was buying an NFT from a known artist, such as like Banksy, for example. If I bought like an NFT like that, that might appreciate in value because of the artist. Right now, I think everything at this point could be speculative. I could be talking out my ass on this one. I don't know enough about NFTs. The technology for NFTs, however, is amazing. It's going to allow artists, individual song artists, and everything else to completely pull out the royalties market out of the whole equation and really open up our idea of art and media in terms of creating a business and being able to sell that on the platform. So NFTs is a huge thing in the future. So I'm not going to say anything bad about the NFT technology. Now, where could Solana go? So Solana is rank 6 on cryptocurrencies right now. So in terms of smart contracts, it is below Ethereum and Cardano. It's below Binance Coin, which Binance Coin is a glorified ripoff, basically, of Ethereum. And then we have Polkadot at number 9 below Solana. So Solana has overtaken Polkadot for quite a while. Solana on the 7-day is up 71%. And this is a big thing, guys. I'm just reminding you here that if you are entering money into Solana, it's up 71%. That's a huge risk factor. We're up at a very high point, and we could be facing a pullback. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but the fact of the matter is the blockchain could go a lot higher too. 2. So the ROI could always be well enough, and I could be completely wrong, and we couldn't suffer a pullback at all. So if we look at the circulating supply, we are at 293 million tokens for the circulating supply. And if you bring that to, say, $1,000 per token, let's hypothetically say Solana reaches $1,000 per token, that brings us to a $293 billion market cap. So again, it's not about the token price that matters. So everyone sees like Bitcoin being expensive at 46,600. Oh, that's expensive. Ethereum is at 3,400. That's expensive. And then you look at Cardano, it's at $2.54. Well, why is this massive difference here between Ethereum and Cardano? Well, that's because of the token supply. So really, Solana has a closer token supply to Ethereum. Ethereum has basically 1/3 of the token supply at 117,000 token supply. So that would essentially mean if Solana does hit a $1,000 Solana, that would basically bring its market cap to approximately 100 billion less than Ethereum's is today. Now, if we are talking about the market increasing overall, and right now the market is sitting at $2.2 trillion, which is really bullish because the last time we were at above $2 trillion, Bitcoin was at a much higher price, which tells us that there's a lot of support within altcoins. A lot of people are still bullish cryptocurrency, and a lot of money is in altcoins right now. Not a lot of money is in Bitcoin comparative to the rest of the market in earlier times that we had back in August before our market dip. Or back before June, I mean. Now, we are currently at, again, $2.2 trillion. Now, I did say that the market could potentially this cycle go upwards to $10 trillion. And when it goes up to $10 trillion, so can we see Solana potentially make somewhere around a 5.3x? Let's just round it up to 6x, which will bring us way above, say, $1,000, which, let's see. So if Solana makes a 6x from here, that brings us to 1,140 in terms of the price. Now, is it going to make that 5x, 6x? Is it going to make that market cap? Well, realistically, I don't know. Now, if I'm going to be conservative, which I often am on this channel, I would probably say the likelihood is we're going to be in between a range of approximately $450 to that $1,000 range, which again brings us to roughly a $300 billion market cap. So again, we could potentially see these numbers. They aren't out of the realm of possibility, but it's very important to recognize that Solana at this point is very overextended in comparison to the rest of the crypto market. Now, again, we've explained on the RSI why we don't necessarily need to suffer a massive drop-off. We can just trade level for our RSI to continue going down. But right now, we are in the dramatic overbought section, so I wouldn't be spending a whole ton of money getting into Solana. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm dropping a little bit of money in, I'm experimenting with some products, and we're going from there. Speaking of the ecosystem, there's a lot of things going on in the ecosystem. We have the FTX and Almeida Research choose Solana for the speed. So FTX is obviously the giant exchange. They've come out and produced a exchange called Serum, which is a decentralized order book exchange, which is very interesting. I'm going to take a look at that in a moment here. USDC by Circle has chosen Solana again for the speeds. So again, that should be hugely bullish for both USDC, having the value of being on a faster, easier network to settle transfers on. So that'd be really good for them and for Solana, of course. And then we have a number of other projects that are continuing on. So we have Metaplex. I'm not quite sure what that is. Elevating creators for NFTs, which we know NFTs are doing well. Then we have Audius, which I can only assume is some sort of audio app, maybe like Spotify. So we have a lot going on in the system. We have a bunch of different projects here that you can go ahead and scroll through. In terms of the DeFi platforms that I found, so one that I was interested on is Radium. So here is more in line with a lot of say AMMs that you've seen, automated market makers. So we have the total value locked up here is $1.8 billion. So definitely a lot of money. And then a total trading volume of $14.2 billion. So this is all built on Solana. So we here have our swap. We have our native token of Ray, and then you'll have your different trading tokens. So obviously you have your Solana here, and you can connect your different wallets, which most likely what I'll end up doing is use my ledger to operate anything within Solana when I get started. Now, just like any other automated market maker, you can add your own liquidity. So we have our pools here, and we can see our rates of return here. So our 1 year, if you're putting up Ray, so the native token of this decentralized exchange, and Solana, if you put up those two tokens as liquidity, you'll get a 59.17% rate of return over the 1 year. And you'll most likely, I don't know this for sure, but you'll most likely receive that in Ray token. And then you can swap that over to maybe more Solana or whatever you want to do. And there's a bunch of other pairs here with comparable APY. Now, if you are looking at anything like this, and this goes with any decentralized exchange, if you switch to the high rates of return, you have situations where you have, say, Tulip and Ray, which of course is reference to the big tulip bubble that happened in human history, where tulips skyrocketed in price. If you go here, you're getting into a very sketchy territory, and I'd be very, very careful of exactly what you're providing liquidity for. Now, obviously, a lot of this could make you some money, and it could be safe. And then some of it could not. So I'd just be very, very careful with what you're doing. Then also we have Serum, which is the FTX decentralized exchange. So if we take a look at that, again, built on Solana, we have the 6,500 TPS that's allowing us to go through. And then we have a very, very low transaction cost. But the thing that's interesting about this DEX is it's a order book. So it's a full order book. So it's more similar to what people are used to using, say, if you're using Binance. So for example, if you go here and trade, you can see here we have the order books. You can have the different token pairs that you want to trade within, all within this order book. So with everything, just to cap it all off, is Solana a buy? It's no doubt that Solana can definitely increase from here. We can definitely go to a much higher price than where we are. It's not inconceivable to hit these numbers, especially if the crypto market goes higher. A couple of things that I'd be cautious of. Number one, we're way overbought right now. We could suffer a downturn, or we could just trade level. One of the two things could happen, and I'm waiting to see a decision one way or the other before I dump a huge amount of money in. Not a massive amount, but hedging against, say, my Cardano, my Ethereum, my Polkadot. I want exposure to all of these products. Now, if you're looking at the Sharpe ratio, it's hard to really say where Solana fits into the Sharpe ratio because we don't have much trading data. We have basically half a year, not even, we have a full year here of gains, and we don't know how it's acting in a full market peak, or we don't know how it's acting in a bear market necessarily, because you can see that it was more launched right at the start of a bull market. So it's hard to really say where this fits into our Sharpe ratio. Again, I'd be very cautious of how much of a position you take on. Don't take offense if you're one of those Solana millionaires. You made a lot of money on Solana because you got in at $30 or whatever. I'm talking about the people getting in now. I'm talking about how risky it is right now getting into Solana. Now, at this point, I am willing to deal with some risk to build a small position, get a position building, start earning interest, maybe play with DeFi functions with Solana for a little bit. But overall, I'm not jumping in head first until I see some sort of pullback or trade level, until I basically see this RSI go down. So right now, I'm not looking to put a huge amount of money in, but I am looking at the potential growth, and it does seem that we could grow to a significant amount of price in terms of Solana. Now, again, I want to be very careful about this whole tribalism. One token's going to overtake the other. I think there's plenty of space in this market for both Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, and all these other smart contract blockchains. I don't think there's going to be one to rule them all, like, Lord of the Rings. I definitely think that there's going to be space. There's a lot of people using the BSC chain even. A lot of people are very bullish on Pancake Swap and where that's going. So there's still a lot of room in the space, but I can't deny that Solana is making huge splashes. So at this point, I am adding it very slowly to my portfolio, very cautiously, and waiting for a dip to go ahead and accumulate. That's it for me. Hopefully this video did help you make a decision whether or not you wanted to add Solana to your portfolio. If it did, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content, and of course, happy hodling.